Hello, it's Tess. I love how I'm obviously batching these videos and I'm just like switching between having the red thing on and then taking the red thing off and pretending that I'm doing this on different days. I'm not doing this on different days. Clearly, you're seeing it on different days and I'm just doing it all at once. So there's that. I'm nothing if not honest. So this is video 4 in my series on what an integration coach like myself does and what integration is or what it means. So in video number 2, we talked about the path of action and what happens when we don't act or let our feelings out of our bodies. We hold them in our bodies. In the last video, number 3, I talked about how it comes out sideways and will make us sick in the long run and cause things like addiction because we are trying to force things in that we don't want to feel. So in this series, I'm going to talk about how we I'm going to talk about what it does for us when we let ourselves feel those things that we haven't been feeling. Okay, so in my experience and the experience of people that I work with and the experience of all of my colleagues and everybody that I went to coaching school with and the experience of literally every single human being who's ever been down this path of allowing themselves to go into the well, to go into the feelings, to go into the sadness, the grief, the pain, the trauma, the fear, the anger, all the uncomfortable feelings that come up that we've been pushing down. So when we actually allow those things to come out of our bodies, more on how to do that in future videos in this series. When we allow those things to come out of our bodies, what happens? Well, I like to say that crying is my doorway to the universe. And by that, I mean, I receive universal inspiration when I let myself feel and acknowledge my own feelings. What do I mean even by that? What the heck do you mean, Tess, universal inspiration? So I mean that I turn all of that stuff into creativity, like songs, right? I write songs and they're beautiful and meaningful and they really help me move through what's happened to me, move through the lessons of my life and turn trauma into something that I can learn from, something that I can grow from, and really claim my past in order to have a much brighter and more empowered and stronger future. So, and even in those moments, like that might sound like a long haul thing, and it is, because the benefit of allowing yourself to integrate trauma. So by integrate, I mean learn from the trauma, learn from everything that happened to you, and actually turn it into something beautiful, something wonderful that helps you in the future. Totally lost my sentence. So when we integrate, it's a long haul, like the effects are long haul, but even in those moments, we receive gems on the other side. And this is something that I have experienced myself countless number of times, and it's something that I have witnessed with other people. So literally, like if you know about the pyramid of consciousness, like it's kind of similar to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but basically you look at the bottom of the pyramid and it's like if you're in survival mode, you're still looking for, stable, you're looking for shelter and food and warmth and whatever. So you can be in, that's like the very lowest level of consciousness is survival mode. Up from that is binary mode, which is where we get, like I have to go to work or I have to quit my job, like stay with my boyfriend, leave my boyfriend, move or stay in the same house that I'm not happy in. Like we get into these binaries, and all humans get stuck in these binaries. And that's really just the second layer of consciousness. In my experience, allowing ourselves to feel the things that we haven't been feeling and to acknowledge those feelings that are all valid and we don't have any choice over anyway. When we allow that to happen, for me, I immediately and automatically raise my level of consciousness to the state where suddenly, instead of being caught in this binary where I was like afraid of this and afraid of that and everything seemed impossible, suddenly I realized that between the rock and the hard place, there's an infinite number of other possibilities, right? Where suddenly it's like, oh, it wasn't that I had to stay at my horrible job or leave my job. Like I could, I could talk to my boss about what actually does work for me or what I need, or I could ask for a raise, or I could work part-time, or I could see if I can work from home 2 days a week, or I can whatever, like XYZ. There's just a million different possibilities, right? Or I had one recently, which was like, I'm feeling claustrophobic in my home. Does that mean that I have to leave my home? And then, I let myself feel all the stuff that I was feeling. And suddenly I realized that I actually really love my home that I'm in right now. I love the valley that I live in right now. I love the community that I have right now. And I'm not meant to live in only one place. Little did I know. And yet when I let myself feel those feelings, that inspiration came to me, and I realized that beyond the stay or go, there were a whole lot of other choices. And for me, what felt right was, oh, okay, no, actually, I think I need like 2 or 3 months a year in a warm place in the winter where there's a community building and like a lot of other like-minded people, because that's what makes me come alive, and 1 or 2 months a year, maybe I'll visit my parents' home, which is where I am right now. It wasn't like that I had to leave the home or stay in the home and find a home that worked for me 365 days a year for the rest of my life. That's just not who I am. And it's actually really okay that that's not who I am. But I never would have figured that out if I hadn't just let myself feel the feelings that I was feeling, like the fear of leaving and the fear of staying and the sadness that I might have to move again, as if that's a thing. So that's what's beyond. When we allow ourselves to feel stuff, we actually find the answers that are right for us beyond the things that we get caught in. So that sort of sums up this video. And in the next video, I will talk about a little bit of, I'll talk about why I work with the womb. And of course, coming in future series, I will be giving you some tips and practices to actually allow yourself to go into that space in yourself and start healing your own trauma and, changing your own epigenetics. So more on neuroplasticity also in future videos. This is so what I love. And if you love it too, and you want to see more videos like this, remember to hit subscribe if you're on YouTube, or like me if you're on Facebook. All right, see you in the next one. Bye.